young scholars. Welcome to another fantastic opportunity to learn online. In this lesson, I will be teaching you figures of speech and sounds. Figurative language. Figurative language in poetry appeals to the senses. Remember the 5 senses I taught you in the previous lesson? What is a figure of speech? A figure of speech is a mode of expression in which words are used out of their literal meanings. Remember the terms denotation and connotation. Figure of speech concerns itself more with the connotative meanings of words. Now look at this. I'm dying of hunger. I do not mean to be taken literally. I am seriously hungry or I am starving is what I mean. The first figure of speech I'll be teaching you is simile. Simile is the comparison of two unlike terms using like or as. The two unlike terms being compared must have a point of similarity. A girl and a dolphin do not belong to the same level, but they have a point of similarity, which is their ability to swim very well. The flower is as white as snow. The point of similarity here is whiteness. My grandpa walks as slow as turtle. Old people tend to walk slowly. So the point of similarity between grandpa and the turtle here is slowness. The next figure of speech is metaphor. Metaphor is the comparison of two unlike terms without using as or like. Metaphor says one thing is another. That is why some writers refer to it as a direct comparison. You are the apple of my eye is a good example of metaphor. It's raining cats and dogs means it is raining heavily. But one who doesn't know may think that cats and dogs are falling down the sky. Jimmy has a heart of gold. Does it mean that the heart of Jimmy is made of gold? Figure that out. Next is hyperbole. Hyperbole means exaggeration. To expand or blow things out of proportion. She cried so long that she made a lake. This is not humanly possible. Hyperbole is at work here. It means she cried for long. Her smile was a mile wide. How wide is the mouth in the first place? The whole world was staring at me, meaning a lot of people were looking at me. You could have knocked me over with a feather. Probably I was very sick or very tired. We all know how light the feather is. Euphemism. Euphemism means to say things that are unpleasant, impolite, shocking, or rude in a polite or mild manner. My goldfish passed away is euphemism for it died. More examples of euphemism. Visually impaired for people that are blind. Senior citizen is euphemism for old people. Correctional facility is euphemism for a jail or prison. Well-fed euphemism for people that are very fat. Oxymoron. Oxymoron is a device in which contradictory terms are placed side by side. That is, words that are opposite in meaning are placed side by side. Examples are plastic glasses, escaped prisoner, deliberate mistake. If it was deliberate, do we still consider it a mistake? More examples are small crowd, sweet sorrow, passive aggressive. In sentence form, we have the room was suddenly filled with deafening silence. This painting is pretty ugly. It clearly misunderstood my point of argument. We all use expressions like this in our conversations, don't we? Next is antithesis. Antithesis is a figure of speech which refers to the juxtaposition of opposing or contrasting ideas. The difference between antithesis and oxymoron is this. Oxymoron operates in word level, while antithesis operates in sentence level, like the examples here clearly show. Man proposes, God disposes. Next is metonymy. Metonymy means to refer to a thing by referring to something else that is closely associated with that thing. Example, we will swear loyalty to the crown. Crown here represents the king. It is a king that wears crown. The White House declared that we are at war with mass. The White House is metonymy for the president. The kettle is boiling. Of course, it isn't the kettle that is boiling, but the water in the kettle. He drank 4 bottles at the party. It wasn't the bottles that he drank, but the content of the bottles. Next is paradox. Paradox is a statement that appears senseless, but in a close examination, it contains a lot of sense or truth. Nobody goes to that restaurant because it is too crowded. Crowded with what exactly? You must first learn how to swim before you go into the water. How do you learn to swim without going into the water? Synecdoche. Synecdoche means to refer to the whole of a thing by referring to a part of it. So it means when a part is used to represent a whole. I have 4 mouths to feed a whole, meaning I have 4 people to feed a whole. Next is personification. Personification means to give human qualities or attributes to inanimate objects. Inanimate objects are lifeless objects. Examples are the flame of the candle danced in the dark. The wind whistled throughout the day. Danced and whistled are human qualities. That alarm clock screamed at him to wake up in the morning. Do alarms clock scream? Figures of sounds. It is good you are able to tell which are figures of sound from figures of speech. The first figure of sound is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the same consonant sound in at least 2 or more closely related words. 7 sheep said silently. Busy, the bee behaved beautifully. Bee is alliterated. Alright, so a sound does not have to alliterate up to 4 or 5 times. If it appears in 2 words, fine. Next is assonance. Assonance is the repetition of the same vowel sound in at least 2 words in the line of a poem. You must have a mastery of vowel sound to know assonance. Remember, they don't have to be spelled alike, but they must sound alike. Consonants. Not many of you know that consonants is a figure of sound. It's similar to alliteration, but the difference is that the sound that is repeated can be at the beginning, middle, or end of at least 2 words in the line of a poem. Now look at this example. She gave the big dog a hug. G is starts the word gave, and it ends big dog and hog. Look at another example. Mike likes his new bike. The consonant sound that is repeated here is K, and it is repeated in the middle of the words. This is very different from alliteration, that the consonant sound will have to begin the words. So for assonance, it can appear at the beginning, middle, or end of the words. Next is onomatopoeia. Please do not pronounce it onomatopoeia. It is pronounced onomatopoeia. It simply means when sounds suggest their meanings. The lion roared. The car crashed. The sound that a lion makes when it roars and the sound a car makes when it crashes are different. So that is why onomatopoeia means when words suggest their meanings. Now watch this video clip and listen to the distinct sounds that different animals make.
Cat. Dog. Cow. Sheep. Horse. Pig. Donkey. Hen. Duck. Rooster. Goat. Frog. Lion. Monkey. Tiger. Elephant. Bear. Wolf. Squirrel. Fox.
Alright, with this, I'll bring the lesson to a close. Until I come your way again, goodbye for now.